You ever wonder if there's some kind of grand plan connecting Elon Musk's rockets, cars, robots, and all that brain stuff? Well, there is. Today, we're going to decode that master blueprint. It's this huge, ambitious, and pretty controversial vision for the entire future of humanity. Let's get into it. See, this one sentence right here is the key to understanding everything. For Musk, SpaceX and Tesla, they aren't just separate companies. Nope. They're interconnected tools, all of them working towards this one single goal. This is the why that drives literally every single project. Okay, so how on earth is he going to pull off a goal that massive? Well, the entire strategy really rests on two foundational pillars. Each one is designed to tackle a critical challenge to our long-term survival and prosperity. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got the ultimate insurance policy, expanding life beyond our home planet. And on the other, you have the engine for creating a way better life right here on Earth. So let's start with that insurance policy. You know, Musk often talks about this in terms of existential risk. He sees consciousness as something that's incredibly fragile. So the absolute first step in making sure we have a great future is making sure humanity can survive any catastrophe, whether it's a stray asteroid or something we do to ourselves. And this image, man, it just gets right to the heart of the problem he's trying to solve. The risk of having all of humanity, all of consciousness as we know it, stuck on one single planet is, in his mind, just an unacceptable vulnerability. So, the solution? Make life multiplanetary. Create a literal backup of humanity. The goal isn't just about planting a flag on Mars, it's about building real, self-sustaining cities there. Now, for decades, the economics of this were pure fantasy. So, what changed? This number. This right here is the key. Musk says that if we can achieve fully reusable rockets, where you just refuel them and fly again, kind of like an airplane, it'll drop the cost of getting to orbit by a factor of 100. That's the breakthrough that suddenly makes the dream of a city on Mars actually economically possible. All right, now let's switch gears to that second pillar. If the first one is all about survival, this one is about thriving. It's the part of the plan that's focused on creating what Musk calls sustainable abundance for every single person on Earth. His argument is basically this. The only way to truly solve global poverty and give everyone a super high standard of living is through this powerful combination of artificial intelligence and physical robots. First, the AI provides the brains, then the robots provide the labor. And the scale of this vision, it's just hard to wrap your head around. He's not just talking about robots in factories. He's predicting a future where there are more humanoid robots than people, doing everything from manufacturing and logistics to cooking your dinner and caring for the elderly. And, this whole tech utopia thing, it immediately brings up a huge philosophical question, right? In a world where all goods and services are basically free and labor isn't necessary, what gives our lives meaning? What's our purpose? It's a question Musk himself admits there's no easy answer to. But here's the thing. This entire future of AI, of robotics, of space travel, all of it depends on one single critical resource, and Musk has identified it as the biggest bottleneck holding everything back. Now, what's so fascinating about this chart is the massive disconnect it shows. Just look at the bar for AI compute demand. It's shooting up exponentially. Now look at the tiny little bar next to it. That's our global electricity supply, just chugging along at a slow, linear pace. We are absolutely heading for a collision. So how do you solve this looming energy crisis? Well, Musk's answer is actually pretty simple. Go straight to the source. We have to aggressively scale up our ability to capture energy from our solar system's own giant fusion reactor, the sun. And to put the scale of this into perspective, get this. He claims you could power the entire United States with a solar farm that's just 100 miles by 100 miles. That's like a tiny corner of a state like Nevada. It's a totally solvable problem. And this right here, this is where the two pillars of his vision, space and energy, just click together perfectly. A solar panel in orbit is 5 times more effective than one on the ground. Why? Well, it gets sunlight 24/7, there are no clouds, and there's no atmosphere to block the energy. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds like some distant science fiction, right? But Musk's timeline for these breakthroughs is unbelievably aggressive. He isn't talking about some far-off future. He's talking about the next few years. I mean, just look at this timeline. He's predicting that by the end of this year, AI will be smarter than any single human. By the end of next year, you'll be able to go out and buy a humanoid robot. And by 2027, it will actually be cheaper to put AI data centers in space than on Earth. And at the end of the day, that's really the thread that connects all of this. It's just this relentless drive to take the futures we've all imagined in books and movies and make them real, to turn science fiction into science fact. So when you boil it all down, Musk's entire blueprint is really just a massive bet on optimism. And whether you see this future as utopia or a dystopia, it leaves all of us with a pretty critical question to think about. Is it better to be an optimist who might be wrong, or a pessimist who ends up being right?